Hello, hello. Grand day, and welcome everybody. Welcome everybody that will be tapping in. Ooh. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my charger real quick, get the laptop plugged in, and then we will get things flowing and going as I will be introducing to all of you not only a resource and access to a very clean, ethical, organically produced, clinical grade coffee, as well as tea and other products with reishi mushroom. And before I introduce that, I will also be talking to you from my main intention here, which is talking about the holistic health and looking at the micro to macro level of side effects as well as benefits when it comes to consuming coffee and other products as well, and what it looks like on a cellular level, as well as what it looks like on a metaphysical level for our multidimensional human being when it comes to our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health and well-being. So in this live, I will be giving you some videos of other speakers and other doctors, as well as some of my own information. And we will be talking about cellular health, as well as holistic and metaphysical health. And then we'll be tying that in with coffee and the type of side effects that coffee has on the micro to macro level, and what is in our coffee when it comes to these traditional mainstream companies, as well as other mainstream mushroom companies as well. And then I will be sharing with you the products, the partnership that I'm a part of that puts their heart, their love, their humility, dedication, and organic quality into what it is that they produce and create for us. And along with that, it's also a holistic approach. And I'm partnered with many different holistic doctors internationally around the world that have used these products clinically with their clients and have studies, as well as multiple studies on PubMed about the type of benefits that you can receive. So I will be giving you guys the full transparency about what the sourcing process is like, as well as how you can access it, and what types you can also purchase and be a part of when it comes to this. So just give me one moment. Feel free to get comfortable. Feel free to share this live, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Feel free to share this live with a friend, family member, or community. Anybody that you feel could benefit, that drinks coffee even, that could use a more conscious and holistic approach to their daily coffee consumption. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you that have continued to support me along this journey and continue to show me love as we explore our consciousness and continue to use our throat chakras to speak our truth, be vulnerable, to use that power that we were given and birthed with, to not just settle, not just stay docile, but to spread truth, spread light, and give each other our care and love of wanting the best for each other, wanting each other to be as healthy as we can during these human journeys, so we don't have much karma to carry with us, and then we can transition into our next phase of life without as much residue or karmic energy. That's the main core of why I'm here, why I'm doing what I do. And this goes way beyond coffee. This goes way beyond just me. This is about us, our health, our wellness, our quality of everyday life, our children, our elders, and those to come. We are breaking patterns. We are breaking the chains of unconscious living, of autopilot, allowing manipulation, allowing ourselves to not critically think, to be consciously present with what it is that we are consuming and bringing into our energy field as a sovereign, multidimensional being. That's why I'm here, Marcus Christolight. So go ahead and get comfortable, as I was saying. Grab your tea, snacks, crystals, whatever you'd like. Allow yourself to get cozy as we're going to take an exploration into our health. And we're going to talk about coffee, an opportunity that I have for you guys to be able to either partner up or become a consumer of a more medicinal and healthy product for your daily living. I'll be back. All right, we are back. We are back. All righty. So, as I always do, well, not always, but a lot of the times I do, I will be closing out and ending this session today with us with a very brief, short, guided breathwork meditation. So, stay put. Make sure you're here for the whole thing, if you can be. And at the end, we'll be doing a very beautiful and graceful guided breathwork meditation just to clear out, process, and place ourselves into a beautiful state of being. So, as we begin, I'll introduce myself first. My name is Marcus. I also go by Christolight. Christolight is a name that came to me intuitively, spiritually from my higher self. Came to me during major times of transition. During these major times of transition, I was going through a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, and some other things in this human nature. So the name came to me naturally, and it came to me as a reminder of my higher self. So when I embody this name and I take upon the name Christolight into my life, it is nothing more than just a representation and reminder of the Christ light within. Not just the Christ light within myself, but the Christ light within each and every single one of us. So when this name came to me, it was almost a honor. It was almost a reverence of spirit. And when I took on this name, it really accelerated me onto a path of consciousness and self-awareness. And everything that I do, you'll find, whether it's my podcast, my shows, my services, or anything else, my whole intention and core intention behind it all is to help you be able to access the power within yourself, to be reminded about what it is that you can do in your everyday life with different tools and practices and knowledge and wisdom, to be able to be in your own power authentically and sovereignly. So, as we begin today in this presentation, we're going to begin with talking about cellular level health on our biological human being. And as we explore this, I'm going to show some doctors and some others that have their own research, knowledge, and experiences when it comes to the cellular level of our health. Along with that, we will also be touching on what the side effects look like of coffee on the cellular level of our health. And then we'll be talking about some other things as well that tie in with this. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up for all of us our first video. And this is going to be about dis-ease on a cellular level when it comes to our human being.
Hi, my name is Marty Johnson. I'm the naturopathic practitioner and owner and founder of Total Health Nutrition Center in Menominee Falls. Today I'm going to be explaining 3 important points to help you better understand our natural approach to health restoration. The first point that I want to bring up is holistic medicine versus conventional medicine and the differences between those two. The second one is how you'll really never fully get well unless you fix the cell. And we're going to talk about how inflammation is really driving a lot of the major millennial diseases that you see today. The third one is the total health approach to restoring the body and peeling back the imbalances that have happened over time. You may be asking yourself, what does Total Health Nutrition Center do different than what my medical doctor already is doing. I never suggest, first of all, that people stop seeing their medical doctor, or do we say that we replace your medical doctor, but really we want to be a complement to your medical doctor. You see that medicine, the modern day medicine, there's many, many different gaps and what I call gray areas that just are not handled in the way that they're doing things. And we like to fill in those gaps so that your body can start to restore itself. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about is really the difference between the holistic and natural medicine, or actually the difference between holistic medicine and conventional medicine, actually. So conventional medicine takes a symptom and really just kind of looks at that symptom very narrow. So in other words, if a person comes in and they find that, okay, they have a lot of symptoms towards maybe thyroid issues, they may look at just the thyroid and focus in on that and then give a person a medication for that or for other issues going on. And really what's happening is they're slapping a Band-Aid on the symptom and really never getting to possibly the root cause of what's driving that symptom to begin with. You see that symptoms could be really a result of imbalances that have been going on for 10, 20, maybe 30 years in the making. The body is such an amazing unit where it can compensate for these imbalances very well until finally it can't compensate anymore. And then what basically the body is saying is, hey, here's a symptom, so do something about it. Well, natural medicine goes back and looks at what the root cause might have been that has eventually caused that symptom. It's like going upstream and trying to correct the problem that way. If you can imagine if you're sitting in a room and we slowly were turning a dimmer switch down and down and down over time, maybe after an hour sitting in that room, you might start to notice that it's getting darker because the dimmer switch was turned down so slowly. That's kind of how it is with your health. It could be years and years and years before you actually notice that, whoa, hey, something's wrong. Well, the beginning of the problem didn't start, when you noticed it, it was years ahead of time. The second point that we want to talk about is really the cell, because you heard me talk about just a little while ago going upstream and looking at the root cause. Well, today with modern science, more and more talk is being made about the cell, and that disease starts at the cellular level. And so to quickly illustrate what I mean by this is if we have a cell, every cell in your body has a dual, it's called a bilayer of fat. And primarily the cell membrane is made up a lot of cholesterol. So this fat membrane is very important because basically it houses the DNA in your cell and little power plants within your cell. They're called mitochondria. They're actually power plants that produce energy. So every living organism produces ATP, which is your energy source. And the important thing to illustrate on this is that within your cell, or on this cell membrane, you have these receptors. And these receptors recognize various things like vitamins and minerals and hormones, maybe your active thyroid hormone, T3, insulin, leptin, and many other hormones like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, all of these things. You see, your cell can't even respond to these hormones and vitamins and minerals until they're received by these receptors. And what I want to illustrate, a major point is that the problem is today is that we have factors that are creating inflammation on this cell wall, like toxins, and we have bad fats, right? Like hydrogenated oils, which are put in all kinds of different foods. And these bad fats actually cause a film on the cell wall. And these bad fats actually don't metabolize out of your body very quickly. They stay in your body a long time, cause a film on that cell wall, and start to cause inflammation. And there's a lot of toxins that actually have an affinity to attach on to the fat membrane and cause more inflammation. And then you can have refined foods like refined white sugar and white flour, very inflammatory to the cells. So refined, we'll call them carbohydrates and sugar. None of that in our diets, right? So in America, of course, there's a lot of it. That can cause a lot more inflammation on the cell wall and actually compete with your vitamin and mineral receptors. But you can see now with this inflammation on the cell wall, it starts to blunt these receptors, and the message can't get into the DNA so that your cells, they can't really respond well to the hormone. So if you can't get the message from T3, your thyroid hormone, your blood work can look completely normal, but your body is not feeling normal. In other words, you're asking yourself, well, why does my doctor keep telling me that everything is normal and I feel terrible and I feel like I'm falling apart and things aren't going well? Well, this is the reason. This is going way, way upstream and getting to the root. So if we can fix this, then we can start to actually let the innate healing abilities of your body heal itself, which is an awesome thing. The reality of it is that, if we can't get the T3 to recognize into the cell, it's the same thing with insulin. Now we have insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. If we can't get leptin to be recognized properly, now we have leptin resistance or weight loss resistance, because you can't lose weight if your body can't recognize leptin properly. So this is what we mean by inflammation driving a lot of the major diseases that we see today. So the third point that we want to make is the total health approach to really restoring the body. We talked about these problems, but what is our approach and what maybe makes it different than some other approaches? Well, the first thing that we want to do is we want to teach people how they can rebalance their body chemistry through eating properly. So there's certain ways of eating and balancing your foods to actually rebalance and set your body chemistry and start to downregulate inflammation through how you eat. We want to really feed the cells and help them become more hormone sensitive. And the second point that we want to actually start working on is using various processes to help downregulate inflammation in the body. Actually downregulate toxicity in the body, which downregulates inflammation. So toxicity, as we had talked about, actually toxicity out of these things that we talked about is one of the major players in cellular inflammation. And there's a lot of toxins that can be very damaging to certain cells, including the brain. Certain heavy metal toxicities can cause problems for the brain. So walking people through very specific processes to downregulate and download these toxins out of your organs, your liver, your kidney, your brain, out of the cells, very important part that we do. The third part is determining very precisely which specific therapeutic whole food nutrition, in other words, what kind of supplementation do we need to provide for a body to help support the organ systems, the brain, the cells, and actually sort of nurture them back to health. So we want to nurture the body back to health through the diet, and then also through therapeutic concentrated nutrients so we can speed up the process. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you like to see more about what we do, please by all means give us a call at our 262-251-2929 or visit our website at www.totalhealthinc.com. That's totalhealthinc.com. Thank you very much.
Wow, I mean, that was just such a beautiful, simplified, and clear way of, really demonstrating and articulating how our cellular level health functions as a human being. And when you think about all this, you know, the toxins and the ways that we can clog up and block up our cells from being able to function properly, whether it's the cell regenerating itself in its natural homeostasis or being blocked up and clogged up to where it can't even receive and ingest the vitamins and minerals that you're trying to intake. This is so important. And, you know, we may not be able to see ourselves, on a large scale, but we're able to feel them and we're able to have the side effects of what happens if our cells become out of balance. They start to become blocked up or they're not being able to receive nutrients and vitamins and minerals. So, one thing, I'm going to take this a little bit further into our multidimensional human being when it comes to our health and well being. And we're going to bring that into the metaphysical side. We're going to bring that into our energy field and how our electromagnetic system functions as a human being. Just give me one moment as I pull this up. And I do teach about this stuff. I have a Light Body Awareness 101 teaching series on my YouTube channel, Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. But we are going to be talking about, just briefly, our energy field and how our magnetic field functions. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up for you guys. And we're going to talk about the relationship of our cells to our metaphysical life force energy and our electromagnetic field when it comes to our aura. So if you look here, our human being, you have many varieties of images that you can choose from to look at this. But our human being is a electromagnetic being. Therefore, with that being said, we have an energy body, we have a light body. This energy body and light body is what basically gives us access to light. And when I say light, I mean consciousness, conscious light. It is what gives our physical human being access to our mental energies, as well as our emotional energies, as well as our spiritual energies. So without the energy body, without the light body, our physical avatar, our physical human being is not living. It is not alive. It does not have life force flowing through it without our light body or energy body. Without the light body or energy body being active, being clear and functioning properly, we are not able to fluidly access our different mental vibrations and mental dimensions of consciousness. And we also receive blockages and imbalances within the emotional energy that we are trying to flow with, to be one with in this physical human life. Along with this, it can also block up our energy field from having our intuitive connection to the divine, to our higher self. Our electromagnetic field flows through our being, down our chakra system. Our chakra system is aligned and a part of the energy and light body. This is why each chakra holds different dimensions of mental and emotional energies that are then projected and assimilated into your human holographic avatar. Your electromagnetic field is also important to your aura and how strong your aura is. Through our electromagnetic field as human beings, this is how we manifest into this realm. This is how we attract, through the law of attraction, different resources into our life. Through our electromagnetic field, this is how we ground and anchor fully and properly to the electromagnetic grid of Mother Gaia in our physical life, as well as have access and open connection to the heavens, to the divine, to the higher self. Our electromagnetic field connects us to all of our existence through this human vessel. The more blockages, the slower the rate of our electromagnetic field, the more prone we are to illness and dis-ease, as well as feeling empty, feeling like we are not alive, feeling like we do not have willpower, conscious awareness, intuition. Some of us may be feeling blocked in those areas right now. But as energetic, vibrational, electromagnetic beings, anytime within our free will and power, we have the capability and access to clear and free up our energy field so that we are able to have a more fluid, a more seamless, and feeling of oneness connection flowing through our body and our being. Where do the cells relate when it comes to this? Well, our cells are the receivers, one of our receivers of electric and light energy that gets brought into our physical human body. The more that our cells are clear and healthy and vibrating in alignment and resonance, the more they are to be able to access, to be able to be in the motion of homeostasis, which is our natural healing state. So what we may not realize that when we are consuming a lot of toxins and other things that are causing blockages within these cells based off of the teaching and the science that we just learned from another brother who presented, then these cells are going to have a really hard time continuing to stay alive in full life force energy. If our cells are not able to thrive, to be supported, to be trusted in its healing abilities, if we're going to choose to continue to force our healing, use artificial ways, and do other things that go against supporting and trusting ourselves and our human body from healing itself naturally, it comes with side effects. And it may push us even further in the direction that we are not intending to go. So, last thing I want to touch on also with our electromagnetic field and the cells of our body. Think about the human being, the human body. Think about how it's made of an organic earth substance. It's organic to the earth, which therefore means our organic human body vibration is of the earth. From a scientific and simple standpoint of energy and vibration, in order to heal something vibrationally and energetically, we need something of a balancing or similar frequency, or a frequency that is higher than our natural state. Why is this? As vibrational and frequency beings, in order to regenerate and rejuvenate our cells and our being, to be able to bridge it and repair it to its organic state, or even better, then vibrationally we have to be able to uplift and utilize the energies that support that bridging and that upliftment. So if we are continuously intaking artificial vibrations, low, dense vibrations through our food and through our drinks, what do you think will happen? Do you think the cells will be able to rejuvenate? Do you think they'll be able to bridge, to be able to uplift? Do you think that's truly supporting our cells and our body to be able to heal itself? Or is it causing more resistance, causing more weight, causing more density for the cells to work through? And not just work through, but also be polluted by, causing damage and possibly even death of those cells. So, as much as we can't see with our two eyes, our micro level of ourself, when it comes to our cells and biology, remember that there are micro level toxins, metals, artificial ingredients, and other things throughout our food system and our drinks that we may be consuming daily that are causing damage, lowering our vibration, and preventing our body from being able to be in its natural state of homeostasis. With this comes with many side effects, many manifestations on mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual levels. This affects our mood swings, our brain clarity, our ability to have willpower, our ability to create, our ability to be grounded in our nervous system, our ability to feel free and flowing with the divine creator. So now this leads me into our next topic of focus here, which is going to be about coffee, the side effects of traditional mainstream coffee that a lot of us may be consuming every day. And not just every day, but multiple times a day, religiously. And I'm here today, out of my care and my love, to share this information so that we may critically think for our own self, for our children, our loved ones, and others, on what it is that we are consuming, what type of quality it is, what type of ethical values is behind what it is that we are consuming. So now, with this clarity, this knowledge, and awareness about our cellular health and biological health and metaphysical health of being a human being, we're going to go ahead and move into some of the known side effects of traditional coffee. And feel free, if any of you guys are here in the live, whether on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, feel free to drop any questions in the comments. Feel free to drop any remarks or any knowledge that you would like to add to this in the comments. I'm absolutely open to answering questions as well as, allowing you guys to share your knowledge as well.
When you ingest acrylamide, whether from coffee or french fries or other types of processed food, when it's heated at high temperatures, specifically above 120 degrees Celsius, that acrylamide molecule is absorbed from the gut, gets into the bloodstream, makes its way to the liver, and then it's actually turned into a compound called glycidamide, which is a very potent carcinogen as it causes mutations in our DNA. Do you ever wonder why we get wrinkles as we age or even cataracts? These are simply examples of what happens because of glycation, which is also known as the Maillard reaction. This reaction happens all the time in our body, and there's actually nothing that you can do about it, although you can do things that affect the rate at which it occurs. Glycation is the primary driver of aging occurring in all of our living cells. You can slow this process down, and if you're successful, you'll be a lot healthier for much longer. Glycation only needs two molecules to occur: a carbohydrate, either fructose or glucose, plus an amino acid, which are the building blocks of proteins. Put those two things together, and the protein starts to brown, if you will, much like heating onions caramelizes them. In fact, the browning of proteins makes them more rigid, and sometimes it's to the point that the protein molecule is damaged beyond repair. Eventually, the buildup of advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, will lead to cellular, organ, and human malfunction. Glycation naturally occurs in the body, but also in food, especially in response to heat. In fact, the process of making caramel or caramel is glycation. It's actually glycation that occurs when you heat up white sweetened condensed milk, and then what happens is you end up making brown caramel from that. This is because the heat causes the glucose and the fructose to bind to the amino acid components of those milk proteins, which leads to the formation of AGEs. This happens in many processed foods because heating is a method for killing bacterial contaminants. For many years, dietary AGEs found in processed food were thought to be harmless, but recent studies show that they're absorbed through the intestine, they enter the bloodstream, and then they bind to receptors for AGEs, which are called RAGEs, in liver cells. When this happens, this actually drives the molecular signal for mitochondria to promote fat accumulation, and it causes more oxidative stress there. And because of acrylamide's ability to damage cells and organs, it comes as no surprise that it's been linked to a range of neurological effects, including peripheral neuropathy, and neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease. One study looked at the blood level of rages in teenagers and actually found that they were higher in those who were obese. Another recent study looked at the diets of almost 80,000 women versus the risk of breast cancer over an 11-year period. The women in that study who consumed the most dietary ages had a 30% higher risk of developing breast cancer. So it's wise to be mindful of eating too much processed food in general, but especially the ones that undergo flash heating to reduce that risk for bacterial contamination. For example, let's take a look at the most well-known dietary age, known as acrylamide. It's formed when carbohydrate and fat meet at very high temperatures, and it's what gives French fries that great crispy crunch. Acrylamide is also a byproduct of the coffee roasting process. Research conducted on animals has shown that exposure to acrylamide has been linked with brain, breast, and pig cancer. In humans, a recent meta-analysis correlated acrylamide exposure with premenopausal breast and uterine cancer. Now, correlation doesn't equal causation, but there's certainly enough there to warrant concern. Exposure to high levels of acrylamide has also been shown to cause adverse effects on reproductive function in animals. Studies have shown that it can reduce fertility, cause birth defects, and affect the growth and development of offspring. So far, research conducted on humans has suggested that it may increase the risk of miscarriage and preterm birth. Studies have also shown that high levels of acrylamide consumption can increase blood pressure and reduce the elasticity of blood vessels with a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. Other evidence suggests that it can cause damage to our liver and our kidneys and even cause gastrointestinal symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. The amount of acrylamide in food can vary depending on the cooking method, the length of time that you're cooking, and of course the temperature, as well as the type of food. Now, some of the foods that are known to contain the highest levels of acrylamide are French fries and potato chips. Coffee beans naturally contain acrylamide, and the levels can increase when the beans are roasted at high temperatures. Roasted nuts, especially almonds and hazelnuts, can also have high levels. Toasted bread can also have high levels, particularly when it's cooked to a dark brown color, or even worse, when it's burnt toast. Certain breakfast cereals, particularly those that are made from grains, such as corn, can also contain high levels of acrylamide. Other processed foods that are high in carbohydrates, like crackers and cookies, also tend to have higher levels. But acrylamide is not the only harmful chemical that we eat on a daily basis. You can see what the other ones are in this video right here.
Coffee is one of the most consumed beverages in the world. Some people drink it daily.
Some people drink it 5 times a day.
Today, we're going to be talking about all the effects that it has on your body that you would not expect. I'm more coffee hyped. Most people associate coffee with the sudden urge to go to the bathroom, and that is true for some people. The reality is that coffee affects our GI systems differently, and for some, it can actually cause constipation as opposed to diarrhea. And we're quick to blame caffeine for this urge to go. The reality is we have research showing that decaf coffee has similar effects, leading us to believe that it's the hormone actually coffee can throughout the day your body produces more and more adenosine, which actually binds to receptors, generating a sleepy response from your body. The longer that you're awake, the more adenosine, the more binding, the sleepier you are. Now, coffee it's caffeine blocking receptors, thereby making you feel less sleepy, thereby making it harder to fall asleep. So its intended effect can actually become a negative effect. The caffeine can actually also impact our circadian rhythm through its effect on melatonin, which can confuse our internal clock. It's almost like having a form of jet lag without any of the fun of travel. I have a large coffee with the ladies. You can also see things like cream sugar. It's a jittery sensation in your body, causing you to be anxious or sweaty even. That's because it activates the fight or flight response in the body, known as the sympathetic nervous system. Research has even shown that overdoing caffeine by a small amount can increase baseline anxiety and the likelihood of panic attack. can absolutely impact your weight. Black coffee is nearly calorie-free, kicks up your metabolic rate. And in fact, as caffeine stimulates the production of adrenaline, it also decreases the level of ghrelin, the hormone that makes you feel hungry and your stomach growl.
Ghrelin? Growl?
But this effect holds true even for decaf because it has been shown to increase the hormone peptide YY, which actually makes you feel satiated or full. And for intermittent fasting fans like myself, research has shown that having a black cup of coffee does not break your intermittent fast and actually keeps the majority of intermittent fasting benefits there. This means that black coffee can truly be used to aid in your weight loss efforts. Cheat code vibes. Coffee makes your hands feel cold because coffee stimulates those small glands that sit on top of your kidneys called the adrenals. They secrete adrenaline and a stress hormone known as cortisol. One of the main effects of adrenaline is to constrict the vessels, which are not of utmost importance to your survival. That means all the small blood vessels furthest away from the midline of your body, like in your fingertips and your toes, they start getting vasoconstricted. They start getting tighter, which temporarily decreases some of the circulation to your hands, making them feel cold and look pale. Caffeine is one of the most studied performance enhancing drugs. PEDs, yeah, has been shown to have significant. In fact, this effect is so great that the NCAA has actually set a caffeine limit for its athletes. They restrict the amount of caffeine in an athlete's system by limiting concentrations to roughly 500 milligrams of caffeine, several cups of coffee. It's no surprise that coffee does raise the heart rate and blood pressure temporarily due to the secretion of epinephrine, adrenaline. The interesting part is that the effect has been found to be true for decaf coffee as well. So another ingredient can potentially be responsible here. It's also important to note that long-term consumption does not seem to cause hypertension. The thinking is that those who consistently consume coffee actually build up a protective tolerance to it. I will say though, that I have treated individuals who have gotten their blood pressure under better control by removing caffeine from their diet entirely. Just saying. Removing coffee is a double-edged sword because it can cause withdrawal symptoms as early as 12 to 24 hours. The thought behind caffeine withdrawal headaches is that the blood vessels in the brain, which normally are kept tight and constricted due to the action of the caffeine, start to swell and cause pain. The ironic part of this is that caffeine is actually found in some common over-the-counter medications like Excedrin migraine. Is coffee dehydrating? This one is fiercely argued on online forums. Some say yes, some say no. Here's the truth. Coffee is a mild diuretic. It makes you pee more, it makes you excrete more fluids. However, if you're drinking a full cup of coffee, there's fluids in there, so it replaces the fluids you lose, right? Yes. However, if you're drinking little espressos or espresso shots in your coffee and you're getting a ton of caffeine in there, you're not replacing the lost fluid, and then in that case, it can be somewhat dehydrating. That being said, if you're not overdoing it, it's usually not enough to become a problem. My dear acid reflux sufferers, coffee can absolutely impact your acid secretion. First of all, we need to stop with this acid-base obsession that is developed online. Drinking electrolyte-reduced water or alkaline water is just complete nonsense. The reason coffee makes acid reflux worse is much simpler than that. It is proven to stimulate gastrin release, which increases gastric acid secretion. And this happens because of the bitter taste of coffee that activates the type 2 bitter taste receptors in your mouth. So the bitter taste of coffee makes your body secrete more acid. Coffee actually messes with your medications, and it interacts with them in one of three ways. First, it affects the absorption of the medications, and studies have actually shown that common over-the-counter meds like ketoprofen, which is very similar to ibuprofen, and paracetamol, which is similar to Tylenol, are significantly impacted by coffee intake. The second is through the disruption of the metabolism of the medications through enzymes. For example, the blood levels of clozapine, lithium, warfarin, and several antidepressant drugs actually were increased after the ingestion of coffee, making them more potent and potentially increasing toxicity. And the third is through the disruption of excretion of the drugs, basically how long they stick around. In fact, we've seen increased excretion of minerals like calcium, magnesium, sodium, chloride, and even water-soluble vitamins like vitamin B. Think about that. You're drinking coffee, you're taking your meds, and it's all going amok. Coffee makes you pee. Here's the truth about holding your pee. Check this out now. It's a must-watch. As always, stay happy and healthy. But watch this. There's a ton of great comments and questions in here. Whoa.
All right. So there's some actual knowledge and information for you guys about coffee and the type of micro to macro level side effects that it has on our human being. And they mentioned the nervous system. And I'm gonna tie in the nervous system with what we went over in the beginning with our cellular health and our holistic health. So when you think about this, if our nervous system is continuously being forced into this artificial stimulation and it's constantly being put under that, it's causing tension, it's causing stress, it is depleting our cellular and biological health when it comes to our human being. Along with this, we're also neglecting allowing our body to be able to be in homeostasis naturally. And we're also really, feeding into not being able to have a grounded and healthy neurological system by continuously piling in and overstimulating our body with these different resources and ways of caffeinating and stimulating ourselves. So, with that being said, I'm going to show you guys some information about a beautiful partnership that I'm a part of when it comes to a organic, ethically lab tested and medicinal quality reishi mushroom coffee. And not just coffee, but also teas, a skincare line, soap bar, and toothpaste that I am partnered with and you guys can have access to switch over and potentially think about swapping out your coffee with something that is full of benefits, full of medicinal qualities, has thousands and thousands of testimonies and clinical studies. And I will say from my own experiences, even as someone that's not big on drinking coffee, I drink this coffee that I'm partnered with due to the benefits and the health medicinal effects that I've been able to receive and that others receive. So you guys heard a lot of the side effects, a lot of the things that come with traditional and regular coffee. So a very interesting fact and very interesting component to what it is that I'm partnered with is the organic and pure reishi mushroom that they utilize and place into their products has the benefits that basically nullify, counteract, and bring balance to the negative side effects traditional coffee usually brings. So as I slide into this presentation, I am going to go ahead and get my Instagram fired back up as it stops at the hour mark. And then we'll move into what it is that I have to offer you guys and what you guys can be a part of when it comes to this organic, ethical reishi mushroom coffee that I have available. All right, and we're back on Instagram. Alrighty. If you guys give me just one moment, feel free to grab some more water if you would like. Use the restroom. I'm gonna grab some more water, and then I'll move into this. Alrighty. So now we're gonna go ahead and move into the part that gets really fun, where we get to explore what it is that's available for you and what I'm partnered with that you guys can access when it comes to your everyday wellness and be able to integrate into your life. If you're a coffee drinker or even a tea drinker, there are reishi fully organic products that are available for you. So as we move into this, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up for you guys some information sheets to go over as we will explore some of the info behind this. So first I want to begin with the partnership that I'm partnered with is called OG. They're called Organo Gold, and they are a very ethical, holistic, and conscious approached company that has taken very great passion within the quality and service of what it is that they offer. So all of their products are lab tested. As you can see on this poster, that there are many international certifications, not just US certifications, but international certifications of the quality control of what it is that is provided. So, one of the known but unknown facts about coffee is traditional coffee naturally grows mold. You can research this for yourself. If you know about mold and what type of side effects that brings to our cellular level, I don't even need to speak on it. So, with that being said, a lot of us have been consuming mold daily through coffee beans. A lot of times, we find out there's mold on our food in the refrigerator. We typically do what? What do we typically do if we find mold in the smallest bit on our fruit or our food in the refrigerator? Typically, we get sickened by it and we instantly want to throw it away. Why is that? Well, because we want to stay away from consuming mold, right? So, with this now being brought to your awareness as a conscious individual, Do you still want to be consuming moldy coffee that is then transferring that mold inside of your organs, through your bloodstream, through your cells? Just think about that. Next is they test for pesticides. A lot of these GMO, genetically modified coffee beans, coffee farms are sprayed and filled with pesticides. A lot of us are aware that a lot of the mainstream food industry, especially in the United States, is filled with pesticides, toxins, and other things due to Monsanto and Bayer. And yeah, I'm just going to be straight up and say it. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm not here to people please. I'm here to tell the truth. I'm here to give the truth. And I'm here to do this out of unconditional love. So not just mold and pesticides are present within our mainstream and traditional coffee. Heavy metal toxins have also been commonly found through lab testing and other procedures within our traditional coffee. Mold, pesticides, metal toxins, all present within our traditional mainstream coffee. How many of us are consuming multiple cups of coffee a day? If not, at the very least 3 to 5. Just going and buying whatever from Starbucks, going and buying whatever from the local grocery store. Lastly, on this flyer, this partnership that I'm a part of, they ethically and organically 100% log grow their reishi mushroom product. What does log grown mean? This means that in China, this beautiful company Organo, they bought their own piece of land and farm in China where this is most prevalent and grows, to make sure that they have a space where the reishi mushroom spirit, the reishi mushroom medicine, is able to organically grow without being tampered with, and to be able to grow in its full supportive natural environment so that it may be at the highest quality and the most potent of what is organically, genetically designed to be on a medicinal level for our human being. So now when you think about the mold, the pesticides, the toxins, what did we just learn about earlier in this presentation? We learned through other doctors and others that placed their care and love to make videos about the facts behind the cellular level healing and how the cellular level health of our human being functions. They talk about how on a cellular level, if our cell is receiving a lot of toxins, pollutants, and other things that are going to block it up, that are going to pollute the cell, then that cell becomes damaged. That cell becomes stressed. That cell can also be incapable of being able to receive the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we are consuming into our body. When this happens, our cells begin to die. They begin to deteriorate due to not being able to vibrate and function in its natural state. This also sets off and blocks up our homeostasis, which is our natural healing abilities, a natural healing state of our body. And when this happens, this creates a snowball effect, manifesting dis-ease, illnesses, cancer, and more throughout our body. This then has mental side effects, emotional side effects, spiritual and physical, on every level. Along with regulating our nervous system. So just consider this. If you are a coffee drinker, or you know someone that's a coffee drinker, think about this micro level knowledge of what's taking place. And then think about why maybe we have headaches, why maybe we feel anxious, why we feel depressed, why we may feel so dependent, and why we may feel like we have a really bad gut or acid reflux all the time. So moving on. This image here is a side-by-side comparison of, on the left, we have a private organic land, and this in fact is actually an actual image of somebody in the company, Organo, on their private land that they own in China at their reishi farm. And look at how beautiful that is on the left. How full, how vibrant, how alive that reishi mushroom is. Now take a look at the right image. The right image, we have reishi mushrooms that are being forcefully grown and naturally, vertically in plastic bags and tubes. A lot of us may not realize a lot of these mainstream monopolizing companies that are pushing their own versions of these reishi mushroom coffees and these mud waters and all these things are not organically and traditionally growing these reishi mushrooms and allowing them to grow in their supportive environment so that they may actually have their fullness of nutrients and medicinal quality for your human being. So when you start consuming these inorganic and non-natural compounds of reishi mushroom, you're number one, getting something with less potency, less medicinal value. You're number two, spending your money on a product that is not giving you what it is that you intend to pay for your health and well-being. And number three, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your efforts in trying to do something healing and beneficial for yourself. Putting your trust in these unknown resources that could be doing it for monopolizing and are not doing it in the organic and natural way of allowing this medicine and reishi spirit to be able to manifest properly for our consumption. Moving forward, on this flyer sheet here, we have some side-by-side comparisons of the type of effects and side effects that regular coffee and this organo coffee has when it comes to our being. So advantages of the coffee. Number one, it's gourmet, deliciously flavored, It doesn't taste earthy whatsoever. You don't taste any type of trace of mushroom in it. And if anything, it tastes lighter and it tastes more flavorful than traditional coffee. I know this for a fact myself, and many others from different festivals and events that I've vended single cups to in those moments, watched them drink it and heard their testimony, and many others, they noticed the flavor difference as well. Number two, it saves you money compared to other gourmet coffees out there. Not only does it save you money, but you're getting something of higher quality with a more medicinal value. And we'll get into the pricing. Number three, it's very convenient. It's all instant in sachet packages or packets. So you can have your packet of instant coffee with you anywhere you go, whether at work, traveling, festivals, so on and so forth. As long as you have hot water, you can blend it together. So we're going to talk about side effects that you may have from regular coffee or other coffees out there. It can aggravate your acid reflux. And let me know if you're experiencing these things. Acid reflux, upset stomach, headaches, jitters, crashes, challenges falling asleep due to the caffeine, increased anxiousness, and other lattes and mochas may raise your blood sugar and contribute to weight. Now we're going to go over to the organo coffee. Nourishes the body with vitamins, minerals, and over 100 antioxidants due to the reishi. The reishi also brings an alkaline and balanced pH and helps improve your acid reflux in the gut. It is a natural detoxification, boosts your immune system, improves sleep by calming the brain and body. No jitters, no crash, no anxiety on the nervous system. And this is something I highly notice, is that the energy that I receive from this coffee is a internal, vital energy rather than a nerve-driven, forced artificial energy. And with that, I have never had a single crash. I've been able to feel pretty centered. And after it wears off, I just coast back into my natural state of being. Supports your metabolism, so it can help you lose weight. Supports athletic and academic performance with oxygenation of the body and mind, bringing oxygen to the cells, which also helps charge the brain, bring better focus and recovery. It is blood sugar friendly, as there are no added sugars, even to the latte, mocha, and hot chocolate. And yes, I said latte, mocha, and hot chocolate. And then it may help decrease dependence on chemical substances, which is really interesting in itself, especially if you're someone that deals with addiction or impulsive tendencies. This is something that can help bring balance to that. And then last, it helps increase nitric oxide, which helps bring more vitality, something similar to Viagra, so to say. So, with that being said, what do you think? Are you interested in the potential of what an alternative to what you're drinking now can bring to your life? Are you someone that has been looking for an alternative from the coffee that you've been consuming daily? So now I'm going to give you a little brief education about the reishi mushroom as a whole when it comes to the reishi itself. A lot of times we just hear the reishi mushroom itself. We don't really hear about the different parts of it and the different parts and what they do for us. So there are three parts of the reishi mushroom that we utilize. Number one being the mycelium. The mycelium is the neural network. It is the little stringy stuff on the bottom. And that is amazing for anything to do with brain chemistry, such as the mood, anxiety, focus, energy, sleep, concussion, and children's focus abilities. There is the lucidum. The lucidum is what you think of when you think of reishi. It is the fruit body. It is the top part. And then lastly, you have the spores. Now, the spores are up to 80 times more potent and stronger than the lucidium. And the spores are what come off of the mushroom itself. It is basically the seeds. So the mycelium is the root system, the lucidium is the fruit body, and then the spores are the seeds. And the spores are the most potent part. So the spores in the reishi, they have beta-glucan protein, reishi acid A, and a couple of other benefits as well. So that's a little bit about the facts behind these products, what type of known benefits there are. And now I'll go ahead and navigate us into where you can access, take a look, and explore these products that I'm talking about. So what I'm about to pull up to you is my personal site. And this is where you can do any shopping, any exploration of the products. Every product you can click on and you can look in depth about the information and ingredients. And there's some other things as well that I'm going to talk about with you. So when you go to my site, it is sacredlightot.myorganigold.com. Then you click on your language. This is international, around the world, many different countries. So if you're in a different country, it's highly likely you'll be able to access it. Alrighty. So we're going to click on shop. So you can click on shop or you can click on products, either way. Now, when you get there, it'll take you to beverages, body management, supplements, kits and sets, personal care, and skincare. So we're going to go to beverages. There are many types of different coffee that you can have when it comes to this partnership. There is your traditional black coffee. There is your royal black coffee. So when you click on these, you can click on each item. It'll take you to the full description of the ingredients and what that product is. And you can see here, certified organic, vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO, pesticide-free, non-irradiated, BSE and TSE-free, melamine-free, residue solvent-free, grown with multi-patented fermentation and cultivation processes of the mushroom, grown on exclusive non-GMO purple corn. So this is a very clear and transparent process and ingredients that's given to you. And as you scroll down, it'll give you even more information about the product as well, including how to prepare it. Depending upon which one you choose, there's roughly between 20 to 25 packets or sachets per box. And then this Royal Black at regular retail price is $49.50. And you get 25 sachets per box. So when you do the math, 25 at $49.50, that's basically you're drinking a cup of fully organic, ethically cared for, non-GMO, reishi mushroom coffee for basically $2 a cup. Think about that. $49.50 a box, 25. That's basically $2 per cup of coffee that you're paying for. Like I said, you're saving money in your pocket. You're switching over the quality of what you're drinking. And you're also benefiting your holistic and energetic health. So the black coffee, the royal black coffee, that is, the royal, also has cordyceps and lion's mane as well. Now, this is the only one that has other mushrooms besides the reishi. And this is just one example. Your traditional black coffee is your regular black coffee, Brazilian organic coffee beans, and each one of these have reishi in them already. The royal black has reishi, lion's mane, and cordyceps. So as you scroll down, there's a mocha, there's a latte, there's even hot chocolate. The hot chocolate is great for kids or people that don't drink caffeine. There's a Supreme. The Supreme has ginseng added as well. And the ginseng is a ancient, beautiful herb that is utilized for vital energy. So this is really good if you need some vital energy and you really need to get going with what it is that you're about to do. Supreme is my personal favorite myself. It's also a little bit lighter in taste and has a more flavorful and sweetness to it. And the Supreme also has a non-dairy creamer in it as well. And again, that's non-dairy creamer. And as you see, if you scroll down, oh, whoops, there we go. I was sitting here explaining it to you guys and I didn't even switch the tab over. That's so funny. But this is the Supreme that I was just speaking on. It has the ginseng added in as well. Non-dairy creamer. And then as you see here, you scroll down a little bit, it gives you the ingredients, key ingredients, and then it breaks down each ingredient to you and tells you a little story behind what that ingredient is. So the coffee has fiber, the Ganoderma lucidum, which is reishi, and then it also talks about the ginseng and this jack powder that they have as well. So the Supreme, for example, is $37. You get 20 in it. You do the math, that's under $2 a cup of coffee. Definitely saves you money from going to Starbucks. So now, let me see. All right. So then as you continue on, looking through the beverages, there is the King of Coffee. The King of Coffee is a medium to dark roast, and this one has the reishi spores in it. So if you remember from the 3 parts of the reishi mushroom that I just explained, the spores is about 80 times more potent than the fruit body that's inside the rest of these. So the King of Coffee with the spores is something of a more potent medicinal value if you're someone that's looking for something of a higher medicinal value, with something that needs to be focused on. And then there's also organic green tea. And then there's also a red rooibos tea as well for those tea drinkers out there. So as you can see from the pricing, these pricings are very well priced for the quality, the organicness, and the care of these products that you would be receiving, ranging around $2 to just under $2 per cup of coffee. And this is just at regular retail price. There's actually opportunity for you to get at an even cheaper price, wholesale, if you were to sign up and become a distributor of these products with the Reishi Spirit. If you become a distributor, the price goes down even more. And then you're able to also then share with your family, your friends, your coworkers, and beyond about this wonderful opportunity and product. And then if they wanted to start purchasing and they started purchasing through you, through your own personal website, just as something on the side, something that's not even intentionally done to make money, something that you're just doing on the side to help the health of your loved ones, you're able to reap benefits from that. You're able to make small finances off of them buying product through you, through your own site. And like I said, this doesn't have to be something that you start going all in on, trying to make a bunch of money. But the fact of the matter is that from a holistic and from a healing approach and care for your loved ones and others, you could switch them over from their coffee and teas onto this, and then you can actually make a little bit of money off of that. But the main thing is that you get to help someone with a healthy choice to help alter their reality and their soul path. So those are the beverages. And then you can move to supplements. Supplements is where you can get the 3 different parts of the reishi that we talked about in capsule form and take it as a supplement if you're wanting to just straight up take it and, you know, either help your body or eradicate things that you're dealing with. That's what that would be good for. So then move down to personal care. You have a soap bar and you have a toothpaste. And then there's also a oral care bundle as well. I'll click on that to show you. So toothpaste is a bamboo, toothbrushes. So the toothpaste, I'm gonna actually share the ingredients with you guys because the toothpaste is quite interesting. So the toothpaste is fluoride free, SLS free, and then it contains reishi mushroom, coconut oil, and peppermint. Soap bar. Soap bar has the reishi, grapeseed oil, and glutathione. And then last, we have the skincare line for everybody out there that uses skincare. Very affordable as well, I will say. So it's $200, and with that $200, you get the full set. You get 1 Manuka cream cleanser, 1 jojoba anti-aging serum, 1 bee venom anti-aging mask, and 1 retinol moisturizer. So the Manuka cream cleanser is of Manuka. The jojoba oil also has pure rose oil as well. And then the bee venom mask is done in a holistic and non-aggravated way to the bees of extracting their bee venom. And bee venom is one of the most powerful ways in the world to bring anti-aging ingredients into your cellular system. And then last, you can go to kits and sets, and you can get different kits and different sets of the coffees. So that's all the products. And this is the site for you guys to take a look. Go ahead and share it with you guys so you can see it. It is sacredlightot.myorganogold.com. And if you want, you can just reach out to me and I can send you the link directly. It'll also be down below in the description here on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever at all about any of these products, anything about how to access them, any suggestions that I have from my own experience with them, feel free to reach out and I'll gladly give you my time to answer your questions, give you any guidance that you could use on how to know which one you want to get, or if you have any questions about it regarding anything else. So, after seeing all this, after coming into remembrance about our holistic health from a micro to macro level, are you interested? Do you feel intrigued and taking a chance, allowing your own self to experience for yourself what this switch could look like for you by trying something that is ethically, organically, and holistically sourced when it comes to your coffee as well as teas? I don't really know what you have to lose, to be honest. You're number one, helping save money. Number two, you're introducing a medicinal, holistic approach to your coffee consumption. And number three, you're also allowing yourself to be helped and supported in your everyday daily activities by consuming something that is more aligned with your organic nature and your naturalness as well. So thank you guys all for tapping in today and joining me on this presentation on Conscious Coffee Conversations as we explored the micro to macro levels of our health with consumption. I will have down below all of the links to the videos that I played today that were educational. I will also have down below the link to my personal Organo page where you can browse and shop and order today if you would like. And like I said, if you have any questions, just reach out. You know where to find me. You guys can watch this in full on Facebook. You can watch this in full on YouTube, Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. And you can watch this in 2 parts on my Instagram, Sacred Light 33. Please, if you may, share this presentation with at least 1 or 2 family members, friends, community, or loved ones that you care about today and you feel like could benefit from switching their traditional coffee that they are drinking today to something that is more organic, more ethically sourced, and more beneficial for their well-being, and save them money in their pocket. As we wrap up, we're going to go ahead and ground it all in. Feel free to get comfortable as I'm going to guide us through a few breaths to ground, process, and feel the love. So relax the body, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, the fingers, the feet. Go ahead and take your first deep breath through the nose. And out. In through the nose. And out. And one more, in through the nose. And out. Mm-mm. Thank you guys for doing that with me. And so Valerie, I see your comments. Thank you for the interest and the love. Just reach out to me, direct message me, and I will gladly lead you to the website and answer any questions that you have regarding the products and purchasing. Anybody else, just reach out as well. Whew, wow. And I also want to say to you guys, just to be truthful and honest, I'm not someone that really buys into marketing. I'm not someone that really likes to partner up with different companies. Never have in my life really been interested in doing so. But when I saw the ethnics, the humility, the quality, the benefit, the holisticness of what this is and what it can bring to our life on a multidimensional level, it was something I could really get behind, especially when I was able to meet the people behind it, speak with and be partnered up with international holistic doctors that are utilizing these products with their clients and seeing results. It speaks for itself. And remember that your own experience is going to be your greatest testament of whether something is good or not good for you. Doesn't hurt to try. You never know how your life can change just by trying. And if it doesn't work for you, you can discard it, let go, and move on. Thank you guys. I love you all. I will see you guys on Sunday live for Ascending Beyond Limitations, episode 10 with Soul Awakening with Sandra. Have a blessed and beautiful day. Wholeness and balanced love.
Until they're received by these receptors. And what I want to illustrate, a major point is that the problem is today is that we have factors that are creating inflammation on this cell wall.
Our electromagnetic field connects us to all of our existence in this human vessel. The more blockages, the slower the rate of our electromagnetic